So this is going to be something different and fun. At least in my head, it's fun. Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. So we all know that Warhammer is a big deal to me, as are Transformers, as are Sailor Moon, as are nerdy anime hoodies. But another nerdity that I absolutely love, which I don't know where this fits because it's kind of a nerd property crossover, would be Warhammer 40k in its Magic the Gathering form. So if you don't know what Magic the Gathering is a card game. If you've heard of the Pokemon, the Yu-Gi-Ohs, all of those out there, there's some others. But it's a card game with, you know, the dice and the chips and all that kind of thing, where you build decks or buy decks that are pre-built, and your creatures in your decks have powers, and there are ways to access those powers, and you fight back and forth with the powers and abilities of your creatures until you drop your opponent's points all the way down. That is the short version. Now, I played Magic a lot as a kid, like when I was like late teens, early 20s. And the people that I played with, I mean, we all grew up and grew apart. So it just wasn't a part of my life again until I got married. And the family I married into, like, Magic's a whole thing in this family. Magic has a lot of rules, like not a few, a lot. I'll be honest, not having played it, I forgot all the rules. I'm having to go back and like relearn how to play. But one cool thing that Magic does, which I think is kind of right up there with things like the Funkos and Box Lunch and companies like that do Loungefly that does licensing, is they have licensing agreement with other properties to create decks. I have a Transformers deck. Well, not a deck, a set of cards, of Magic cards that were given to me as a gift, as a birthday present last year. And this was given to me as a Christmas present last year, but in the middle of moving, getting married, and everything else, I never opened it. That was a hiccup, and I'm not editing it out. But I never got a chance to open this, so I thought I might open it with all of you and look at some of these cards as I sleeve them up. And just, you know, see how interesting and accurate these cards are. The Transformers cards are really cool. You know, you got Optimus in there, Rodimus Prime, RC, a lot of really great characters, but it's not a whole deck. It's just a small set of cards, and I love that deck too much to actually use it. It just sits in a case, being pretty, but these I will actually play with. This is the Imperium Commander deck. So the Commander decks, have a lead card that's your commander, and it usually is some great creature or whatever with a really awesome set of abilities that can save your butt if things are not going your way in a particular game. The deck I've been playing with is actually a Warhammer Chaos deck, which is really cool because Abaddon the Despoiler is actually the commander for that deck, and I really like that deck a lot. I like it so much that I might actually buy my own because I really love playing with that deck. But this is the actual Imperium deck, so this is the Loyalist deck, and it's going to be interesting to see what's in here because I don't know what these cards are yet, or who the commander is or anything. I'm just opening it right now, and I thought I'd open it with all of you and take a look at this. So let's do the thing. So first off, this box is way heavier than it looks. So in here, you know, contents have the 100 card deck with 42 new cards. Now, I don't know as of what time this was new. Let's see if there's a date down here. Oh, 2022. So this is relatively new in the grand scheme of how old Magic is. And then also it has a foil etched display for the commander. Ooh, 10 double-sided token cards, plus a deck box, which is where, you know, your deck lives after you open it up. A strategy insert and a reference card, which is handy because, again, Magic has all the rules and it's easy to forget them all. So let's go ahead and start opening things up and see what we've got in here. So this Oh, look at that. Oh, 100 perfectly tight fitting card sleeves for standard card sizes. That's awesome, because our decks we really love, we typically double sleeve them. So once they go into this sleeve, this will be the sleeve on top. The reason you do that is so your cards don't get nastied up, because if you actually do play with them and you want to keep them nice, you need to sleeve your cards. Now, I've seen people who don't. That is completely a personal choice as to whether or not you sleeve your cards. But in this house, the cards are sleeved. And I got a stepson who will spend hours of his life putting cards in sleeves. So they gave me 2 sets of those, which is awesome. Let's see what else I've got in here. There's lots of little bits in this box. I don't want to tear something I didn't mean to tear. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh, this is the card box. Okay, so the card box came folded down. Let's see who's on it. Who is the character on the box? Is this a Sister of Silence? I think on the card box, that's a Sister of Silence, isn't it? I do believe so. They're awesome. That's a whole thing I've not gotten into in talking about Warhammer on my channel yet, but I will figure out when. All the mana symbols that you have are on the side there, which is great. So this is basically a perfect size box for fitting your Warhammer deck. I'm not sure they'll all fit in here once they're sleeved. We shall see. So what about the cards themselves? So let's take a look at the actual cards. So if you look in here, it's like got its own little section. So I just pulled the card box out of here, and this is its own little, like, this is where the cards live. So to get to the cards, you kind of have to rip the box up a little bit, which I hate doing because I never know if I'm going to want to keep it, if it's like good for display, but for this purposes it's not. So I'm less sad about destroying it. Oh, there's more down here that I didn't see. We don't want to forget any of our treats. That's another reason you don't immediately throw away boxes, is you may have missed something. But eventually boxes must go to the refuse bin. So this is empty now. I'm going to set it over here. So what have we got here? So Magic the Gathering Universe and Beyond. Playing the deck Forces of the Imperium. The might of the Imperium lies in its inexhaustible armies. This deck contains many cards that may make token creatures, including those with squad ability. You can cast cards with squad for their nominal mana cost early in the game to build up your defenses, or pay extra mana later once you have more resources to make token copies of that card. Build up your forces and abide your time until your opponent is vulnerable, then attack. Well, that is the most Warhammery explanation of a card game I've ever seen. Oh, okay, so this is basically the how to play, which, honestly, not gonna lie, need to read it. Because, yeah, I am limping in my Magic these days. Okay, so, I was good and wrong. Don't come for me. I hadn't seen this one before. So the primary commander is Inquisitor Greyfax. Inquisitor Greyfax inspires even the most humble Imperial agent to fight with greater fervor. If an enemy creature is in the way of your attack, Greyfax can submit it to questioning, tapping it so it can't block, and finding a clue token as a result of her investigation. I knew it was a woman. I just assumed it was a sister. Because of Greyfax's vigilance ability, she can do this after she has attacked, before blockers are declared. Okay. So she is a legendary creature. It doesn't matter if it's a humanoid or not. All of the beasties and people, they're all called creatures. So just let that go. So yeah, she's a 3/3. Unquestionable wisdom. Other creatures you control get a +1/+0 and have vigilance. Hunt for heresy. Let's see, we can tap target creature an opponent controls to investigate. So she's got an interesting power. And we have a secondary commander in this deck, and that is Marneus Calgar. Marneas Calgar's keen insight and extensive tactical knowledge ensures that you will have a steady supply of additional cards. Oh, under his command, you can feel safe to commit your forces to the battlefield, secure the knowledge that there will be additional warriors to call upon later in the game. If you do find yourself with an empty hand, you can always spend 6 mana to create 2 Astartes warrior tokens, which draws you a card. Okay, so these are both good. We've got some cascading abilities here. The ability to bulk up your forces later on. Cool. So we are white, blue, and black aligned. So cooperation, protection, control, protection, knowledge, order, and power, death, and ambition. Okay, so that's a good little assortment there. Oh, and then they give you a history of each of the characters here. So this is an Inquisitor that I don't know about. Do you know how much stuff there is in the Warhammer? You can't possibly know it all. But yeah, I didn't know about this Inquisitor, which is why I did not recognize her. So that's cool. I haven't encountered her in any of my novels. And Marneas Calgar is apparently a genetically enhanced space marine. And he has been the chapter master of the Ultramarines for centuries. So that's actually kind of a big deal. So this is cool. I'm going to hold on to this and probably put it in the box with the cards. Because Homegirl needs all the help she can get when it comes to remembering the rules to Magic the Gathering. Oh, look, it's even got a little themed score thing. So when you are playing, you start out with X amount of points. And the only way to keep track of you losing points is with this. You have your commander points, and then you have your life points, and different kinds of attack affect those. But I've got a nice themed point counter here with the Inquisitor on the front. So that's kind of cool. And it's just Imperial insignia on the back. So that I love that. So I didn't know that was in these boxes. Again, haven't bought Magic in many years. I bought my stepson a set because he's doing good in college, but no, on a personal level, haven't bought any in many years. So that's kind of cool. I used to have some really awesome decks, but moving 1,000 times and the rest of it looks like they are lost to the ages at this point, never to be recovered. Which is fine. It gives me a chance to do new things and find new things. So I have opened the deck. So let's take a look at some of these cards. So she is first because she's the commander. Ooh, and she's what you call a shiny. I can't really get the glint of the shine here, but let's read about her. No, we did read about her. I just want to show you the card. So that's Commander 1, Inquisitor Greyfax, and Marneas Calgar. He's also a shiny. So we talked about what his powers are as well. So let's take a look at some of these other cards and see if anything interesting sticks out. You know, that's interesting that he is the master of the Ultramarines, because if you don't know who the Ultramarines are, the 1,000 Words of Ultramar, controlled by Robute Gilliman, which I thought was Robot for years until I heard someone read it, and I was like, oh, that sounds way better than Robot. But Robute Gilliman is the Primarch of the Ultramarines. And he has basically, at the time of the heresy in 30K, set up a secondary empire. It's actually called Imperium Secundus in the region of Ultramar, where he's basically Little Emperor. In case the Imperium of Man ever falls, it can be reestablished quickly. Many people have had opinions on why he did that, whether it was the right thing to do or if it was heresy. I don't know. It's just another interesting story. And several Primarchs during the heresy end up on his planet at the same time. Vulcan lives. Like I think Korax ends up there. No, it's Kurz. Comrade Kurz ends up there. He's there. Like it's a whole thing. You know, that's actually one of my favorite novels in the Horus Heresy, and my favorite. John Grammaticus is at the center of all of it with his Fulgurite trying to take down a Primarch. Yeah, like it's a whole thing. Anyway, I digress. The lore. I love me some Warhammer lore. So let's look at some of these that seem interesting. So I got they're not in any particular order except I think they're in order by class. No, they're in order by color in the deck. Oh, that's interesting. Can't read all the cards. There's 100 cards here. Not today, Satan. But let's look at a couple of these. So we've got an instant card called They Shall Know No Fear. Only choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get a +1, and you gain indestructible until the end of turn. So this is something that if I have put a creature down, we'll say I put my Inquisitor down, which magic people don't come for me. You're going to come for me. Why am I even saying that? But say I put a creature down, I could put this power with that creature to give them an added ability that stacks on top of what they're doing during whatever turn I'm on until the end of the turn. And then because this is an instant and I used it right away, it goes into my graveyard deck. Let's see what else we got here. Who sounds interesting? Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. A Grey Knight of Paragon. So this is an Astartes Knight. This one's actually worth looking at. I like it. I'm still painting my army right now. My word bearers, my chaos word bearers for Kill Team. Y'all, it is some work to play Warhammer, but I love it. I love everything about Warhammer. Let's see here. So this one here, Flash, Rites of Banishment. When Grey Knight Paragon enters the battlefield, destroy target attacking creature. If that creature is a demon, exile it instead. So it's almost like this deck, if you've played with the Chaos deck, goes directly against it, which that's kind of fun. That would make for an interesting game. You can play basically any deck against any as long as it's the same type of game. Let's see. Oh, there's a nice quote at the bottom here. All wills should be all weapons. All faith should be all armor. Canticle of Absolution. Love it. This guy's a 4/4, so a little heavy. On the dealing and taking of damage. Oh, and he costs 4 to cast. Oh God, he's expensive. Let's see who else looks good. A scout. Don't care about you. He's not interesting. Nope, not interesting. We're scrolling through. Let's see here. Oh, here's something interesting. An Astartes Cleric. Like, this is a good guy, but he looked like chaos. He's not, but he looks it. Let's see. Sanguinary Priest. Like, as in sanguineous? Is this a blood angel? Let's see. He costs 3 to cast. He's a 2/4. Oh, yeah, he is a blood angel. Lifelink, Blood Chalice. Whenever another creature you control dies, Sanguinary Priest deals 1 damage to any target. Embrace the strength of your Primarch, but deny the resist, brothers. There is no return from the darkest paths. Tell that to Eisenhorn. Let's see here. Nope, not as cool looking. I need something cool looking. Yeah, no. Oh, that's interesting. So this is an artifact called the Mind Stone. That's kind of fun. Isn't the art just amazing? I don't know who's out there making these Warhammer cards, but you're not getting paid enough. Cost 2 to cast. Artifact. So artifacts are like, you know, if I picked up a weapon and did something. Let's see here. Sacrifice the Mind Stone, draw cards. Okay, so some of these cards, when you play them, you have to lose something to do something. But it might make everybody else lose something as well. So strategery as you go through your deck and draw cards. Let's see here. Our quote is, pain is an ally, pain is a friend, pain is truth. Sister Ernika Nabuto, Order of the Valorous Heart. They are so intense in the future. Like, everyone's intense. Okay, so these are all artifacts. Oh, and land. So land, mana, you have to collect you have to shuffle every time you play, obviously. But you will need to collect different types of land to cast your creatures, to cast your spells and whatnot. And the cards will tell you how much of each of these you would need. And sometimes you get mana, lands, whatever, bogs, whatever it happens to be, that can sometimes double as both, depending on what kind it is. So you want to take a look at that. So I'm going through all of my mana now. So they've stacked this really good. This is cool. Let's see here. Looking for a cool card to show you. I don't want to show you boring stuff. Oh, this is a nice one. Ooh. Celestine, the Living Saint. Focus. There we go. I told it to focus and it did. That's weird. Legendary creature, human warrior. Flying, lifelink. Flyers are very good in the old Magic. Healing Tears. At the beginning of your end step, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Woo! Complicated. Why you gotta go and make things so complicated? Me, me, me. Let's see here. Ooh, he's cool looking. No wonder it's a custode. Vexillus Praetor. If you don't know who the custodes are, they are serious business focus. So the custodes are the guardians, the bodyguards directly to the Emperor of Mankind. Like, you thought the Primarchs and the Star Days were serious? Nothing on the custodes. And they take their jobs real serious. It's like, yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't have time to get into the custodes today, but they are a hoot. So he's a creature, custodes warrior, or custodes, depending on how you want to say it. Flash, vigilance, Aegis of the Emperor. Commanders you control have protection from everything. Oh my god, that is a good card. That is a real good card. Throw him down, you're just going to thwart everybody. There's no greater bulwark than the praetors of the Adeptus Custodes, the bodyguards of the Emperor of Mankind. I see. Let's see here. Now this is, okay, don't laugh at me. This is who I thought our Inquisitor was. So this is an actual Sister of Silence as a creature. So get her to focus. Yeah, I love how the armor makes room for a woman's physique. That's like my chief complaint in Taekwondo. I'm like, these uniforms are not for women's bodies. They are for tall, skinny men, period. If that's not what you are, it's not gonna fit. So, let's see. Creature, human knight, psychic abomination. When Sister of Silence enters the battlefield, counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, activated ability, triggered ability. That makes sense, because the reason they're called Sisters of Silence is most of them are like Elizabeth Baquin over in Old Eisenhorn. They have a negative psychic field, so psychic attacks don't work on them. Like, in places where you would be able to sense someone, they can sneak in and not be seen. And if you're next to them, that power kind of translates over to you as well. Let's see. Ooh, that's ugly. Oh. Let's see here. Sometimes you run across an anime card. Oh, this is cool. So this is an enchantment. Beautiful card. Come on, focus. There we go. Got it. Birth of the Imperium. Cost a lot to cast. As the saga enters, and after your draw step, add lore counter, sacrifice after 3. Woo! Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Oh, this is mean. So creature, a 2/2, white Astartes warrior, creature token with vigilance for each opponent you have. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Draw 2 cards for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. Yeah, that's a mean card. That is a mean card. Let's see here. Anyone else that's cool? I mean, they're all cool, but just, you know, worth it on the, Oh, I'm going to have so much fun putting these in sleeves. It's just going to be the best day ever. So, yeah. I was trying to see if I could find if they put an anime card in here. Sometimes in these decks, they do their art in anime style, which is a lot of fun. I'm not sure if the Warhammer property, I didn't see one in our Chaos deck. But I'm not sure if the Warhammer property did an anime card, so I'm just scrolling through real quick to see if there is one. I don't see one. Oh, here's all the land. That's good. Okay, so this deck has plenty of land with it. Oh, check it out. So this is the collector shiny for the Inquisitor Greyfax. Definitely has to be double sleeved. Glad I found that, because now I can set that aside with the other commander. Do they have it for both of them? Token creature, token creature, token creature. No. Oh my goodness. So just the one Inquisitor gets the big pretty card. Well, that's poop. Would have been nice to get two, but that's fine. So when sleeving these, and I'm not going to make a video out of sleeving cards. That's I mean, I know we all want to make content, but that just seems rude. But, you know, when you're sleeving, I'll do a couple, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see here. Flippity flip, flip, flip. So, and the reason I'm doing this is because I just got the shiny. So, first things first, we put card in initial sleeve. So we're going in here. So there she goes. So she's already decently protected, but there's still the top here that sticks out. So that's where these come along to help protect from both ends. So now, and they're pink, my favorite color. But you didn't know that. So now I'll stick this one in the reverse and slide it up. So now the card is protected from both ends from ever getting damaged from moisture or anything else. And now we have one sleeved card. I know. And then you just do that over and over and over. So I'll go ahead and do the other two shinies I've got here. So find the top, goes in. Yep. And then we take the outer sleeve and put it on top. And now card is perfectly protected. And we'll do one more. That is the most I will do for a sleeving card video. I'm sure those videos exist. I just don't feel like that's something I want to do. Because I'd rather watch an anime while I do this than talk to a camera, if I'm being honest. And then put this guy in here. Yep. So now I have my 3 shinies and my collector card perfectly protected, and they're in a color I love. That's another cool thing about double sleeving, is you can get your cards in a color that you love, which this is now my pink deck. And I will eventually get myself my own chaos deck as well, and go from there. But I'm super excited about that. So we're going to take these, see how much thicker it makes them to put them in sleeves. So this box that they give you, I don't think it accounts for the space of them being sleeved. Yeah, once I get them completely in the double sleeves, they fit now. But once they're all like that, they may not fit. But I'll let you know if they do. But I've got my sleeves, and to keep everything collected while I do this, I'm going to go ahead and make use of this box for that right now, to keep all of my sleeving stuff inside of it, along with the deck, until I get this completely sleeved at some point in the next couple of weeks, because it's a process. So yeah, got my little box of cards here. I'll leave my box of cards on the desk just because they're fun. Yeah, there we go. Let the Inquisitor face me, so I found her a nice spot to live. So that was something different. I hope you enjoyed it. There's so much little collectible stuff in Nerdverse. Like, I think I'm going to go through all of my hoodies at some point, because there's so many. Like, I got the Transformers, like, just cat ears. Just got Spider-Gwen. I know you see her hanging back there. So, yeah, there's just so many great things out there in nerd culture, and I celebrate them all. That's why I'm called the well-rounded nerd. We don't need factions of nerds fighting. It's all great. It's all wonderful. Let's enjoy all the things in all the properties in perpetuity together. So as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.